Hello, welcome to this music and movement session based on Shakespeare's classic comedy, A Midsummer Night's Dream. We're doing 5 sessions in all, built around the themes and characters of the play and using music associated with those themes. We'll have mostly seated exercises for you. There will be some standing versions later on in the session, but always with a seated alternative that you can do if you prefer. All you need is some comfortable clothing and a little bit of space to move around. So if you're ready, then I'll be playing the piano for you in my home, and Louisa and Rosa will be leading exercises from their home. And we hope you enjoy it.
Welcome back. We're going to first check our posture. So again, sit in the front half of the chair, so if you're okay with that, so that you again have to have that bit of a engagement in your center to keep your spine nice and long, and just checking the feet that they have not traveled under the chair, so your heels are under your knees, so toes, knees, hips pointing forward, and then sitting nice and tall here. So in our warm-up today, we're going to think about that theatre production. So thinking about you are in the wings or somewhere backstage, and the curtains are still closed, the audience getting in, and we're just going to do our little warm-up before we are ready to go on stage. So just follow me. Here we go, shoulders up, we're going to squeeze, up, down, circle, then we're going to spread the arms in, spread your fingers, and like little stars, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and let's lift the heels, tap toes, and we're going to walk slowly forward. Let's do that again. We're going to go heels and toes and forward step. Reaching one arm up, we're gonna go up to the side. Reaching up, and we're gonna go shake, bounce the heels here if you like. Second side reach, and up. Now bounce the heels and shake, 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 all the way down. Back to shoulders, up, circle. Second time, and we bounce, heels, tap, toes, 1, walk forward. Now we're going to warm up our face, big opening, and screws. 2 more. Now we're ready to open the curtain, pull it open. Second side. Here we go. Stepping to stage. Let's take the arms up. Lovely. Great. Hopefully feel a bit warm now. Okay, so we're going to recap our potion making, love potion making. So sitting nice and tall, just opening the legs, thinking about the pot, cauldron in front of you. So we reach across on the top shelf on this side, take a jar, something powdery, so we're going to really shake it. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 7 or 6. We're going to take the other arm, reach on the top shelf, that thing that we're going to dip, rat tail, whatever it is, dip and up. We'll do sprinkle, 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 and then we did from lower down 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Grinding 1 and 2, and then we take the jar. So quite specific if you are okay, thinking about like you holding it, but we're gonna take it that way, so it's a bit awkward, so that we can really dip the whole thing around. So we're gonna go Good. Then we did 2 big slow stirrings, and then we'll go 4 faster. We're gonna scoop that foam off, push it to the side, and the first round we'll just did little steam coming up, following that with our hand. And then we'll go again, reaching, same thing, across, turn the jar, and we'll go da 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 da. Reach across, and we're gonna dip down and up. And with it, sprinkle, 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 sprinkle. I'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we'll go grind and grind. And again, that awkward big jar, empty. And then in the end, we have just sort of time to do 2 or 3 up, up. You will hear the music, and we'll try to hit the bang, the lid on in the final. Okay, let's do that with some music. Getting ready. We're gonna reach. And reaching, dipping, sprinkle, and we'll go and grind, stir, stir, and we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, foam, and steam comes up, again, reach, dip, sprinkle, and up, 1, 2, 3, grind, and now we're gonna go. Great.
Okay, so we are going to do our puck exercise all the way through once today. So we added on last week, we've done the whole thing twice through. So we'll just give it a go with doing it once through with music this week, but I'll just have a quick run through of everything before we do that. So we begin with our feet in parallel, hands down by our side, and we begin as puck, getting the potion ready to give to Lysander. So we're running through our feet, floating our hands up and down, and then we're reaching to one side to get the flower, smelling that lovely flower, scooping potion into it, putting it down in front of us, with our other hand showing that magic coming off of the flower, and then we're pouring it into Lysander's eyes. Good, hand comes down. Then we're Lysander, and Lysander's waking up, so we've got a big stretch of our arms. Hands come to heart, and tummy button kind of sinks in. We're going to the side here, and then we're beating our heart forwards, so you press your chest forwards, and throw your heart to Helena. And Helena is shocked, she doesn't want this, she's going to the other side. We're pressing away, pushing Lysander away, bringing our hands in, sheltering us from him. And then you're going to throw your hands up as if to say, what is going on? And bring your hands down as if tears are falling down to the ground, okay? We go back to puck. We've got our running through our feet with our fairy wings, and using the other hand to reach to the side for our flower, smelling it, scooping up the potion, dropping it. Magic coming off of that flower. And we're going to pour it into Demetrius's eyes this time, pouring that potion into his eyes. We know he's the one that actually needs to fall in love with Helena. Perfect, hand comes down, and then Demetrius wakes up. So we're rubbing our eyes, being Demetrius, saying to Helena how beautiful she is. So that's our beautiful mime from ballet, hand across our face, along our jaw, lifting up the other side, reaching towards Helena to get her hand and bring it in to give her a kiss. Okay, and then we're Helena, who's saying, Lysander loves me, Demetrius loves me. Looking back to the centre, shrugging your shoulders as if to say, what is going on? Throwing your hands up, circling them all the way around behind, keep going, and then we're going to end up with our head in our hands. From there, Pucks realise that he's really messed up. Everyone's unhappy, so we're coming back to our fairy wings, running through our feet, and then we're pointing to one person, point to another person, and then we've got our cross, open, cross. So we're crossing one, open, one. So we want one arm to go across on top. When we open to cross again, the other arm crosses on top. And then we're going to pick one flower from one side, the other flower from the other side, smell them, throw them away, and bring your hands up to your mouth as if to say, oh my goodness, what have I done? Okay, and then we've got our little narrative of all this confusion here. So Lysander is saying to Hermia, I do not love you anymore. So that's hand to heart and flex wrist to say no. And Hermia's really upset because of Helena. She thinks that Helena's made Lysander fall in love with her. So we're going to say, as Hermia, to Helena, come here, Helena, I want to fight. And Helena's going to throw her arms up. We're crying down to the side again, as we've had before, tears falling. And then Demetrius, who's now in love with Helena, is just very happy in love, so bringing one hand to chest, other hand to chest, and a gentle swing to the side, okay? And then to finish our last section, we've got the same puck movements, running through our feet with our fairy wings, and bringing a flower, smelling it, scooping that love potion, dropping it down, showing that magic coming off of the flower, and pouring it into Lysander's eyes this time to take away the effects of the previous love potion that he originally gave to Lysander, so that Lysander falls back in love with Hermia and everybody's happy. So he just poured that into Lysander's eyes, and then we're going to be all of our full characters, so they're asleep and they're going to wake up in love with the right person. So swinging forwards, hands to chest, swinging to the side, forwards again, hands to chest, drawing half of the heart with one foot and the other half with the other foot. A big heart in the space with your arms, and bringing your hands to your lips to blow the kiss to finish, okay? So we'll do that once through today with the music, and then that will be it. That will be our puck done. So really enjoy it. It's quite a fun exercise. I know it's quite fast in some places, but it's a bit mischievous as well. So have a little bit of fun with it, and yeah, we'll see how it goes. So arms down to begin. And reach. Magic coming off. And pull. Lysander waking up. Hands to heart. Feet. And back to puck. Other arm this time. Magic coming off that flower. And Demetrius. Reach for Helena's hand and kiss. Shrug, arm circle. And back to big puck. And we've got our point, cross, open, cross. Reach. Smell, throw. Lysander says, I love you, Hermia. Hermia says, come here, Helena, I want to fight. Helena throws her hands up and cries. And Demetrius is happy in love. Good. And reach. And pull. And waking up. Swing forwards, hands to chest. Side, forwards. Drawing the heart. And a big one. Lovely, well done.
Midsummer Night's Dream is a play that really goes to town on fights and insults, especially between the four lovers. and between Helena and Hermia, who have been best friends but are now rivals in love. And Shakespeare has great fun with the idea that Hermia is quite short and Helena is quite tall, and they really have a go at each other about these facts. So we're going to pick out some of the insults that Hermia and Helena hurl at each other through the play. So what I'm going to do is hurl an insult at you, and I want you to hurl it straight back at me with double the volume and double the force. So first of all, we're going to do one of the best insults ever to a tall person. Hermia calls Helena a painted maypole. So I'm going to have at you with that term, and then you're going to come straight back at me. So, painted maypole. Whoa, yes, I felt that. Okay, so now Helena's not going to take that line down. And she, at one point, calls Hermia a puppet. Okay, so I'm going to give you that insult, you give it straight back to me. Puppet. Amazing. Okay, so now we're going to pick another of Hermia's insults against Helena. And she calls her effectively a liar, but the word she uses is juggler. Okay, so here's my insult to you, juggler, and let me hear it back. Fantastic. And Helena, describing Hermia when she was younger as being fierce, even though she was little, she says she was a vixen. So here we go with that one, vixen. Okay, right, we're now going to add our own version of their insults to sum up the way they talk to each other. And we are going to have a Hermia insult against Helena, which is lanky. And Helena's going to come straight back with shorty. Fantastic. I'm now going to run through those insults. I want you to shout them straight back, but with 10 times the force. Okay, are we ready? So, painted maypole. Puppet. Juggler. Vixen. Lanky. Shorty. I could hear you. Thank you.
Before we come up today, we're going to do a little bit of free foot exercise. So just following me, and we're going to think about being the fairies, and we'll add a little bit of sort of ballet arms to the feet. So just follow along. Let's go with some music. Sitting nice and tall, bounce your heels and tap your toes. Arms ready, fast. We're going to go nice pointy march. Swap the arms and point again. Arms changed and point. Now we're gonna sweep and sweep, sweep work for the arms there as well. So if you'd like to get up into standing, again, just take your time, moving the feet slightly in, power through the legs, and as you get up there, just have a moment, maybe pedal through the feet to make sure you don't feel dizzy, and then finding your way to the back of the chair. If you want to stay seated, we'll show the seated version for the plie again as well.
Okay, so once you've come up to standing, we are finding the back of the chair just for a short plie and stretch today. So this isn't set movement, we won't go through it before we put it to some music. It's just an opportunity to feel our bodies standing for those of us that are standing before we move on to our standing exercises that we've been working on throughout the term. So we'll just have a bit of soft music and a bit of a bend through our knees and a bit of a stretch to our toes and arms as well before we move on to those exercises today. As always, there will be a seated version of me on the screen as well, doing the seated variation if you prefer to stay seated for this. So please do choose, it's completely up to you. But either way, whether you're standing or seated, finding a nice parallel position, feeling nice and tall through your spine, and really imagining those shoulder blades pressing down down your back, feeling nice and heavy. Got that opposition of feeling really tall and pulling up to the ceiling, as well as that grounding through our shoulder blades, through our feet, feeling nice and tall. Standing, just finding the back of the chair with your fingers, ready to go. We're going to begin with 2 plies. We've got plie, stretch. Now 2 tendus forward, tendu. Other foot, 2 plies. 2 tendus to the side, side. In, other foot, side. In, 1 plie. Tendu behind, hold it there. Circle to the side and draw it in. Again, we've got 1 plie. Other foot behind and circle to the side. Draw it in, good. 1 foot out to the side. Lower that heel. Bend into that knee, reach, reach. Draw it in. Other side. Point, lower that heel. Bend into that knee, reach. Draw it in. 1 hand behind. Really reaching, stretching, stretching, and over to one side. Coming back. Other arm behind, reaching, and to the side. Coming back to the chair, we've got 2 plies. Tendu forward with 1 foot and the other foot. 2 more plies. Tendu to the side, 1 foot and the other foot. Good, 1 plie down. Tendu behind and hold, circle. Draw in, last time and plie. Stretch, tendu behind, hold and circle. Draw in and just release your hands to finish. Lovely. Do our standing love port de bras again this week with a bit of a swing in the middle of it. So we will quickly recap the movement without the music, and as always there will be a seated version that you can follow along, but it's all exactly the same seated. So I will just talk through the standing, but when we're doing it with the music there will be two of me on the screen that you can follow depending on whether you're seated or standing. So we begin our port de bras by standing up nice and tall. There's a bit of an instruction, and we're going to lift our arms as though we've got that breath that's just blown through and lifted our arms off the side of our body. And then we've got 3 counts. We're bringing our arms into our first position. We're going 1 and 2 and 3. 1 arm up, other arm out to the side for 3. The top arm swooping across our face, and it continues all the way to the side of us. And then we're reaching, and we've got our reach on 4, bounce 5 and 6, okay? And we do that the other side. So we're bringing our hands up 1 and 2, 3, reaching 1, 2, 3, coming across 2, 3, reaching 4, bounce 5 and 6, okay? So on that bounce, after we've done our 4, cross our body and come down to our sides. And from there we've got our swings forward, so we've got 6 swings on one leg and 6 on the other. So it doesn't matter which leg you start with, we're swinging 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, switching 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, good. And from here we're imagining our lover has touched our shoulder, so we're reaching for their hand, other hand joins, and we clasp and we swing 2, 3, release those arms, 4, 5, 6, and 1, 2, 3, finding your parallel position, again slowing that swing down. And then we're imagining that we're framing our lover's face in front of us and your arms float down to your sides. And we repeat that whole first section again before the swing. So we're coming 1, 2, 3, reaching 1, 2, 3, crossing 1, 2, 3, reaching 4, bouncing 5, 6, again 1, 2, 3, other arm up this time, 2, 3, crossing 1, 2, 3, reaching 4, bouncing 5, 6, to finish here. Okay, so let's put that to some music again this week. I won't count through and speak through as we do the movement to the music, just so you can fully immerse yourself in the music without hearing my voice over the top of it. So really enjoy those soft, gentle, floaty movements throughout this exercise, okay? Here we go. Really lovely, well done everybody.
So, this exercise is all about the wedding march. So you can do again this seated or standing, or if you want to stand and hold a chair, that's fine as well. So we'll think about now the grand wedding and do a little wedding march. So we'll start, so if you have some space around you, so we're going to move around a little bit, but you can also do it on spot, so not to move so much in space. So we're going to start stepping 1 foot forward and they're going to tap and really trying to keep that chin level with the floor, so looking ahead rather than looking down, and feel your core engaged here because we're going to go slow steps, so it requires a bit more balance. So we're going to go step and tap and step and tap and step and tap. We're going to go 4, and if you find it hard to do the tap, then please feel free to just step together, and step together. Or we're gonna go step and tap, but we're gonna go straight forward. So just show that so that you can see the feet hopefully a bit clearer. So we're gonna go first taking our hands to the hips, and we're gonna go slowly 4 of this step and tap, step and Then we're going to keep going, making that into a march. So we're going to go, just move a little bit further back here. We're going to go march, take one arm around and the other arm. Again, a bit like you would give yourself a hug. And then we're going to reverse, reach really long arms here. And we're going to reach. Good. Then the legs is sort of keep going. So we're going to go 2 steps to the side. So we're going to go step, together, step, together. And we're going to go tap and tap. We're going to go back, step, together, step, together, tap and tap. Let's do just the legs again. We're going to go step, together, step, together. It's easier if you have a little bend in your knees to keep the knees soft here, and we'll tap and we'll tap. And the arms for the first one, we're going to take one hand to the heart and second one to the heart, and we'd like to do a little heartbeat with the steps. The tap, sorry, and then with the second one we're going to take one arm, then we're going to take the other one and we're going to show the ring finger, and then we're going to do a little nod and a little nod as to say yes, and we put those together with the steps. So we're going to go step, together, step, together. We're going to tap with the hard beats, and then we're going to take the arm, show the ring, we're going to go yes with the taps. Let's do that again. We're going to go step, together, hands to the heart and pump with the taps, hand forward and the other. We're going to tap with little yes. We'll come back into march, and same thing here, taking one hand to the shoulder, the other one, and then really opening and reaching open. Keep marching. Then we're going to show everybody here that we, from our hearts, will love that guy there. We're going to come back into the step together and taps, but this time we're going to do like the fairy side of things. So we're going to have our wand in the hand, and we're going to go step together, and then we're going to go tap with a little spell, and then we're going to go fairy dust, and we're going to throw the dust and throw the dust. So that part is step with your wand, and we're going to tap with a spell, and we're going to do fairy dust, and we're going to throw the dust, and that's it. Let's try that with some music. You might guess already what the music is. Taking the hands in. Slow steps. So we're going to go step, tap, step, tap, step, tap. Once more. And take it into a march. And the other hand, shoulder and open. Fantastic. Good work, everyone. So if you'd like to come back down into your seat, just take your time to walk around, and again we'll go down slowly using your legs, sitting down, and then finding a good posture here, ready for some cool down.
Okay, so we are going to do the same cool down we did last week with our curtains closing. So it's our last session of Midsummer Night's Dream, so let's take that final bow during our cool down today for all that hard work that we've had throughout the term. So do enjoy this, sitting up nice and tall, feeling grounded through your feet. Here we go. So just starting by lifting one hand up, taking that out to the side, lifting slightly, taking a bow, and again to the other side, opening to the audience, lifting that hand slightly, and bow. Good, and then we're going to bring our hands up, and the curtain comes down, but it lifts again, and your arms float down. We're taking our final bow this time, so thanking the audience, opening your arms, and the other one. And let's lift those arms, slightly looking up. Take your bow, lifting up, and down. Good. One hand circling behind, and the other hand. And let's bring that curtain down for the final time. And rolling up through your spine. Now imagine those lights. Let's turn them off. Good. Anywhere you want, maybe up above. And one down there. Good. And now the mask comes off. We've got our happy mask. And we can relax. And happy. Good. Roll those shoulders. You can relax now. One hand on your shoulder, the other, and reach. Reach. Good. Bring your hands into your heart. And float them down to finish. Amazing stuff. So that is the end of our Midsummer Night's Dream sessions. We hope you've all had as much fun as we've had making them by dancing and singing along with us this term. We will be back for the next half of term with more dance sessions for you, so do keep an eye out for those. But in the meantime, you can practice any of the sessions that we've done already by visiting the YouTube channel. They're all up there for you. So please do go back and have a look if you're looking for something more to do. But take care of yourselves, and we'll see you again very soon.